Hi and welcome to another card making tutorial at dolallycrafts. I'm Karen, and for those of you who haven't been here before, welcome. And if you haven't been here before, you're obviously a new viewer, so please hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell just so that you don't miss any notifications of new videos that I put out. Today we're making a very special card. Special because it's for one of my son-in-laws who's turning 30 something. I'm not telling you how old he is, because then you'll be able to work out approximately how old I am. And I'm getting too old to be revealing my age. Okay, for today we are mixing something old with something new. You'd think I was getting married again. No fear. Okay, we're using Tranquil Tide, which is one of the discontinued colours, but it's still a really nice shade of green. We're using the Well Said, but we're only using Happy and Birthday, obviously, for his birthday. So they're the stamps that we're using and the colour. The other colour we will be using is Memento Black. And if you haven't already been to our clearance rack, this up until, well, the last time I looked was still available, Black Baker's Twine. I picked it up for $3 something, I think it was. Really good saving. So do yourself a favour and grab some of that. We'll be using that. Now, we're also using some of the Tranquil Textures DSP, which is those two, and some Tranquil Tide cardstock, a scrap of Whisper White cardstock, a card base of Whisper White, which has my logo on the back, but you don't have to have that, honestly, and some of the old Whisper White glimmer paper. I say old because this does lose a bit of its glitter. Apparently the newer stuff doesn't, but the reason this is old, I trimmed this out ages ago to use on a card, and I ended up with 3 or 4 lots of the dragonflies cut out, and I kept them in the stamp case. Well, I haven't had a reason to use it, but I want this card to have a bit of sparkle even though it's a masculine card. So I'm hoping that my son-in-law is going to like it even though it's got a bit of bling. For any of my male viewers out there, I hope you like this card and think it is suitable for a masculine card despite the bling. Okay, let's get on with it. It should go together really, really easily. So what we're going to do first, I'm going to stick the rectangle of DSP to the rectangle of cardstock, and I've just realised this hasn't been trimmed to the right size, so I will do that in a moment. This is actually my second filming because right in the middle of the first one my phone rang and I haven't put it on silent. Silly me. So it's still sitting at the side of my desk, so hopefully I'm not going to get any more spam calls in the middle of this filming. Okay, so we now have the DSP stuck down to the cardstock, and I'm going to do the same with our little triangle here as well. And I haven't got my silicone mat handy, which is silly because when you're using acute angles like this, you really need to have your silicone mat underneath so that you don't get glue everywhere from your glue tape runner. Okay, so we stick that down, and I've just realised for some reason that is not straight. And it should be because they were cut at 2 different angles, that could be the reason, because they were 2 different sizes of paper. So I'm just going to trim this down. Okay, that's better. Now they're even Stevens. Oh, yeah, that was my paper trimmer hitting the ground. Okay, So that will go across the top like so. So we will now stick that down, and once again my silicone mat would have been really handy at this point. Okay, so if you don't have a silicone mat and you use glue tape, get a silicone mat. Okay, so we'll stick that there. Now what we need to do is bring in the baker's twine and find the end of it, which is there. I'm going to wrap this round twice. Now the best way to make sure you've got extra to tie the twine, start the twine off at one end, wrap it round, bring it back, whoops, and wrap it round again and take it down to the end. I'm only going to wrap this twice, so I just need to trim that there. And even though it looks like it's been wrapped around 3 times, we will now bring those 2 ends together like so. I don't know where my tweezers are either. Everything's missing underneath the rubbish on this desk at the moment. And to my Canadian viewers, hello. I'm specifying you because I know there's a hubby out there that likes listening to me. I think he's got a thing for the Aussie accent myself. Either that or he likes listening to all the Aussieisms I come out with. Aussieisms coming from a POM. Okay, we'll just pull that down a bit, and I've just loosened that knot. Silly me. There we go. Tighten it again and twist it slightly because I want the knot over on the other side. I still want those together, but I want the knot like so. Okay, I'm going to flip that over and bring in the large dimensionals and put one in each corner. Make sure I've got my card the right way up and pop that onto the card front. And I'm going to make sure I get this even Stevens. There we go, that's better. Okay, so that's the base of the card all ready to go. And then I'm going to bring in my basic black, and I need a block for the sentiment. And well said. Definitely not all organised for this. Now I've got my happy. And birthday is there. Now these are the cling stamps, so they are really well and truly stuck to the case. And you know how with the old red rubber stamps, we used to have problems not being able to get them to stick to anything? With these clink stamps, it's the exact opposite. You can't get them to uncling, or I can't at least. Okay, so happy there, and I've got to try and make sure I get birthday lined up fairly straight as well. I think that's about right. Okay, yes. So we'll ink that up, and I'll just test it on a scrap. That's not too bad. Okay, so bring in our scrap of paper and just do happy birthday along the bottom there, and then pop the lid on that because I've already got memento over other things. In with the paper trimmer again. In with my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to try and line this up. I'm just lining the letters up to the end there so that it's just a very narrow margin under the wording, which is fine, and then do exactly the same this way. Line it up just along the edge of the well there, and then slice it, and that's great. I love this font type because it is so easy to make sure that everything looks nice and straight on it. Okay, move that away, and I'm just going to pop the happy birthday. It's actually a bit too far apart. I might have to. No, I really did want it to go along there. I didn't really want it hanging over the edge. No, it's going to have to go there then. Oh, it stands out a bit more there anyway. This is what happens when you make a card on the fly and you don't have your sample to make sure everything goes right. So I'm going to give a slight edge to the DSP. If you can see that, there's an edge along there and up there. So there's the happy birthday, and coming in now, I have to get my mini dimensionals. And I can't find my mini dimensionals. Okay, we'll go with these. So I'm just going to snip up the edge of the larger dimensionals and then snip those in half. Okay, these, that doesn't actually look too bad. Going over the top of the knot and up past the happy birthday. Yes, I'm actually quite happy with that, despite the fact the happy birthday didn't exactly go where I wanted it to go. And I'm going to come in with some of the basic black rhinestones. I'm just going to pop one between happy and birthday, like so, just as that extra bit of bling, but a bit of black bling. Now inside, okay, I couldn't find anything in, excuse me, Maisie, no. I couldn't find anything suitable in the Well Said stamp sets. Excuse me. Maisie, no. So instead I went to Amazing Life, and this one here is absolutely perfect for my son-in-law. I've got the happy birthday on the outside, and even though the fonts don't match, I am going to use the Life is Too Short to Say No to Cake. Because my son-in-law every now and then decides he's going to have a chocolate-free time of it for the year. It's got nothing to do with religion, it's just he decides he's been overindulging, and so he decides he's going to have a break from cake, or from chocolate. And of course, what's his favourite cake? Chocolate cake. So if he's saying no to chocolate, he's also saying no to cake. So this is my message to him, and I think even if he thinks the card is too girly with the bling on it, he will appreciate the sentiment on the inside of the card. Now really I should have used my stamp positioner for this to make sure that I'm going to get a really good stamp, or I should use my foam stamping mat. But I don't know where either of them are. No, definitely not there. So in with my scrap again to make sure that I can get even pressure on this. See, I've missed the middle bit. That is why I need my stamp mat. I don't know where my stamp mat is, but I did find some foam. So let's see how I go stamping on the foam and see if I get any better an impression just using this thin piece of foam. Yes, yes. Okay. So I'll bring my card in, ink up my sentiment. Just make sure the card is straight there. And brilliant. Very, very good. I really like that. And my son-in-law will appreciate that sentiment all too well. Okay, well, that's it for today. That's the card. I hope you really like it. I do, and I hope he does as well. I'll let you know what he thinks of it. Okay, that's it from me for today. I will bid you farewell, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.